Sorry, guys, just had a bit of technical difficulties there. North Queensland's first try came in the 8th minute when Tom Dearden threw a double cutout pass to Valentine Holmes. Valentine Holmes had Fafita and Patrick Herbert. He sucked him in, passed it out to Murray Tuolangi, who made great meters, approximately 20 meters down the short side, down the blind side, and then he threw a great line pass back on the inside to Tom Dearden, and Tom Dearden got the point scoring underway up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. It was 6-0 after only 8 or 9 minutes, so that was awesome to see. After the kickoff, it was a complete set to the North Queensland Cowboys, and in between the next 10 minutes, in the next 10 minutes, Brian Kelly performed a one-on-one strip on Peter Hiku. There was also a Jeremiah Nanai error where if Cowboys challenged it, I think they probably would have gotten a successful challenge for a strip from the Gold Coast Titans, but it wasn't meant to be, so you move forward. And then in the 14th minute, so this is where things started to even up a little bit. The Gold Coast Titans were on the attack in the 14th minute, and AJ Brimson put in a kick for himself, and then Jason Taumalolo came in from nowhere and took out AJ Brimson. So there was a penalty, and then we had 2 6-agains following that. So they were defending their own line, the Cowboys, for minutes, and then finally they broke. So there was a nice sweeping play. Not sweeping play, it was a nice link-up play. Toby Sexton then got the ball off to David Fafita, and both Holmes and Murray Tuolangi went in on David Fafita. That just left way too much space, and then David Fafita got the pass to Jermaine Asako, and Jermaine Asako and the Gold Coast Titans hit back, and the score was then 6 points to 4 in favour of the North Queensland Cowboys. And then from the kickoff, they completed their first set, the Gold Coast Titans, but in their very first offensive set after scoring points, Kevin Proctor's he gave away another penalty again, and throughout the entire match, Kevin Proctor gave away about 3 or 4 penalties, so it wasn't a happy night for Kevin Proctor or the Gold Coast Titans for sure. And then in the 19th minute, so there was a bit more to and fro, a set-for-set sort of thing. And then in the 19th minute, Rhys Robson was a dummy half, and I think it was 4th tackle, and the Cowboys were on the attack, and Robson feigned to go right, but then he came back to the left, and Scott Drinkwater received the pass. Scott Drinkwater then put in a grubber kick on the 4th tackle, and instantly I thought, oh, what are you kicking on the 4th tackle for? But it then started ricocheting, and it ricocheted perfectly. It bounced up great for Murray Tuolangi to score the Cowboys' second try. And then once the Cowboys received the ball back off of the kickoff, it was another completed set. But this is where the game really this is where I started to feel more confident in the Cowboys game, because after that second try, the Cowboys started to look to offload the ball throughout the game. Jeremiah Nanai got an offload to Drinkwater, and he ran up the far right side of the field and made about 20 or 30 meters, which was awesome. And then on the 3rd tackle, Chad Townsend put in a deep kick, and he said, right, defend, lads. Let's defend, guys. And so, and they did stoutly. So it was a 3rd tackle kick. It was trying to win with their defense. That's what they showed to me and everybody else, in my opinion, by Chad Townsend saying, we're going to kick on the 3rd tackle and we're going to box you guys in on the other side of the paddock, which was just great to see. And it's something that I called for when I did my live preview with BKR Sports the other day. Then in between, and then there was a few more sets back and fro. There were a few more errors, whatnot. Taumalolo got another offload in his game. I think Taumalolo, off the top of my head, offloaded maybe 3 or 4 times, which was, again, so good to see because offloads just haven't been a part of the Cowboys game for 4 or 5 years sort of thing. And just slowly, gradually, the Cowboys are starting to offload more. They're starting to have more confidence in backing each other up and playing off the cuff second phase sort of style of footy, which is great. So Jason Taumalolo got the ball off to Robson, and Kyle Felt got it, and he made headway by about 40 odd meters thereabouts. Put in a kick for Peter Hiku, and Peter Hiku was then wrapped up. And then on the fourth tackle, but Chad Townsend gets the ball off of the ensuing play, and he puts in a crossfield kick for David Fifita, who ended up knocking the ball on. It was actually for Murray Tuolangi, but David Fifita intercepted it but couldn't contain the ball, and he knocked on. And then from there, the Cowboys had a few more plays attacking the Gold Coast try line, and there was a no try to Kyle Felt. This was a great play. If it was to come off, it was Valentine Holmes. It was then out to Jason Taumalolo, Townsend, Drinkwater, Peter Hiku, and then Kyle Felt. And if it came off, it just would have been, I don't know, it would have been a little bit too easy, wouldn't it? But it was deemed a no try because the bunker thought that Jeremiah Nanai took out AJ Brimson in the lead-up play. And I got to agree, I think there was so much space on AJ Brimson's outside on the left of him that Jeremiah Nanai, he ran a really direct line, but I thought if he, with a bit more experience, maybe he just takes a step off of his left foot and then he goes into the space that was created there. But not meant to be. It was a penalty for obstruction. And I think that was fair. I think that Kyle Felt no try was fair, and it's been consistent as well. Was AJ Brimson ever going to get there? I don't think he was. But again, I think it's been consistent with how the referees have ruled on the obstruction so far in 2022. But there is an inconsistency, and we'll get into it, that came about in the second half anyway. And just before I go on, guys, I want to go into the comment section. Mr. CJ Moxley, great win from you lot. Thank you, man. CJ Moxley, yo, man, can hear you now. Oh, that's a bugger. North Queensland did good. Then congratulations to the Cowboys. Holmes was good on Fifita, eh? Yeah, he was. Holmes was definitely good on Fifita, and apologies for the technical difficulties at the start there, guys, so far as the audio goes. Having a bit of a barrier over the past couple of weeks for sure. That's not going to look good on the replay. Anyway, so we get to the 32nd minute now. And Jeremiah Nanai knocks the ball on when the Cowboys were inside the 30-meter zone, attacking the Gold Coast line. And Jeremiah Nanai knocks the ball on. And then in the next set, Jeremiah Nanai causes the Gold Coast Titans player to knock the ball on. So Jeremiah Nanai made up for his error by defending really stoutly and strongly. And Rhys Robson came in and helped him out as well. Then because of that, in the 33rd minute, Drinkwater from the base of the scrum on the far right side of the field, from the base of the scrum, picks the ball up and just mucks around, weaves his way, runs an arc, and then he sort of highlights David Fifita. He gets on the outside of David Fifita and just burns him for speed, man. And Scott Drinkwater, by that stage, he had been a menace throughout that entire first half. And Scott Drinkwater, man, he's put in a massive case to make sure that he does not be moved from fullback. I think it's now getting to a stage where Hammer is going to be playing on the center of the wing, and unfortunately, some unlucky person is going to be cut or just put onto the bench. I don't think either Drinkwater or Hammer should be starting off of the bench, in my opinion, anymore. It's a great headache to have, a headache nonetheless. So that was pretty much it for the first half. And for everybody's stats in the first half of the North Queensland Cowboys, Jordan McLean, I thought, was super strong for the forwards. He had 7 hit-ups. Murray Tuolangi had 8. So did Hiku. Kyle Felt had 7. And this is what I've been talking about and what I had revealed to me weeks ago, maybe months ago, that the back five for the North Queensland Cowboys are making super meters coming out of their own end, man. And for a stage there, maybe not the case anymore. I'm not too sure about the stat there, but they were making more meters, the back five, coming out of their own end than anybody else in the competition. And by the looks of things as well, and we'll highlight the stats as well in the next couple of minutes, they're doing it again. Just alone, reading off of their first half stats, the back five for the Cowboys, besides Drinkwater, who had 4 hit-ups of the ball in that first half, Tuolangi felt, and I'm having a brain fade here. Peter Hiku as well, just making great meters, about eight hit-ups in that first half. Sensational stuff, man. And so then the second half starts, and we know that possession is going to start swinging about. And I think at halftime it was about 60-40 in favor of the Cowboys. And the Gold Coast Titans inside that first 5 minutes were coming at them really hard, man. And the Cowboys were able to repel them once again inside that first 5 minutes. It was high octane stuff from the Titans, but the Cowboys were able to not be breached. They were really defensively orientated tonight, man, which is great. And so in the 52nd minute, this is where the game could have changed for the worse. Jeremiah Nanai was put on report for a lifting tackle, a player going in the horizontal, and Nanai was sin bin. Now, I'm happy to live with a penalty. I'm happy for Nanai to be put on report. I thought the sin bin to Jeremiah Nanai was pretty harsh. I thought it was pretty harsh, but I guess on replay, the Gold Coast Titans player did look to have his neck in an awkward position. So, yeah, anyway, we move on. So for the next 10 minutes there, throughout that entire sin bin period, the Gold Coast Titans, they weren't able to capitalize on it. I think they did make a couple of errors, but they just couldn't breach the Cowboys' line. Defensively, the Cowboys were really good tonight, man. Now, in this sin bin period, there is a section in the 54th minute. Valentine Holmes takes the short goal line dropout option, and it bounces and it bounces, and it looks like that it hasn't broken the plane, and Kyle Felt's made a play way too early on it. And then the referees, or the referee and the touch judge start talking about what the answer should be. And you hear Peter Goff, the referee, say, so it's a Gold Coast Titans scrum. Is it a Gold Coast Titans ball? Is it? And then the replay happens and everybody's going off saying, look, the referees have got this wrong. Kyle Felt was over the 10-meter line. In our opinion, the ball has broken that 10-meter plane, and Kyle Felt was able to throw a pass back on for Chad Townsend. So everything was all clear. So it really should have been play on, in my opinion. But the touch judge was standing right in front of the player. He put his flag up, and Kyle Felt shouldn't have been pinged for that. Play should have been able to continue. It should have been play on. And the referees and the touch judge, they started talking. They thought one thing, and then 20 seconds later, it's a scrum midfield, and we thought it was going to be the Gold Coast Titans because the referee said Gold Coast Titans ball. Chad Townsend's got the footy in his hands, and it ends up being a Cowboys ball. So what the hell happened in the 54th minute there, guys? Is that just Cowboys ball because the referees completely flogged it? Like, fair dinkum. Like, it didn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense how that decision came to be. Anyway, thank goodness that it didn't decide the outcome of the game. But what a terrible decision by the touch judge to rule Kyle Felt out. When Kyle Felt, yeah, he did have his foot out, but then he planted both of his feet back on the paddock, and he was fair game. He was fair play. So that's one for Graham Annesley to look at over the weekend and talk about potentially on Monday. Bet he won't because it's North Queensland. But anyway, so then in the 61st minute, just before Jeremiah Nanai serves his time in the sin bin. Jared Wallace was then pinged for a horizontal tackle, and there were calls from the QCB Stadium crowd for Jared Wallace to go to the sin bin because Jeremiah Nanai put somebody in a dangerous position. But I think Jared Wallace didn't go off to the sin bin because Jeremiah Nanai had sort of a leg pull. He got the leg and really lifted it up like a lever, whereas Jared Wallace, I think he just sort of had momentum go against him, and he just accidentally put him in a dangerous position. But again, there's a little bit of inconsistency there that the referees weren't able to, wipe out and, sort of make it consistent as well. But anyway, so once that penalty was given, Jeremiah Nanai essentially 20 seconds later comes back onto the paddock, and there was a switch of play. So what happened was the ball went out to Tom Dearden on the left. Tom Dearden probably got the call or just thought, it's actually got to go to Chad Townsend. So Dearden passes it behind the dummy half and straight back out to Chad Townsend on the right-hand side. Chad Townsend puts a kick up for Jeremiah Nanai. He does his thing and he scores in the 63rd minute, and you went, wow, just straight away, instant impact coming back onto the paddock from Jeremiah Nanai again. Just, wow, he is a leaping wizard at this point. He's just sensational to watch when he gets it right. And so then from the kickoff, the Cowboys didn't complete their set after points, which was unfortunate. There was a bit of defensive. There was a bit of defense for the Cowboys. There were more errors from the Titans, who were really ill-disciplined when it came to errors and penalties and 6 agains tonight for sure, man. And in between Nanai's try and Hylam Lukey's try, which came in the 71st minute, there was an incident that got overlooked a little bit that featured Taumalolo, and I think it was either Isaac Liu or it was David Fafita. But in any event, Jason Taumalolo copped a headbutt to the face, and Taumalolo didn't go off for a HIA. He was busted open from the chin a little bit, and I think it was the Gold Coast Titan player that copped the head of Jason Taumalolo. He went off at a HIA, but Taumalolo wasn't sent for a HIA protocol at all. Taumalolo completed the game. He played for a further 15 minutes. He did look a bit shaken. He did look a bit dizzy. But the independent doctors said, nah, he's all right. The referees and, sorry, not the referees, the commentators, I should say, they were asking, well, where's the consistency in that? Why is this Titans player who copped Jason Taumalolo's head to the face, what does he have to go off? And Taumalolo somehow stayed out there. So I don't know, man. Just there were inconsistencies in the referee's game that if come finals time, it's going to be a massive issue. And because the Cowboys won 30 points to 4 tonight, it's not going to be really spoken about or highlighted, but I wanted to talk about it and just say, if they don't get this correct, if they don't iron out these creases come September finals footy, these incidents that are small right now and in the context of a 30 points to 4 victory to the Cowboys, they're going to be absolutely enormous come finals time for sure. So that's just something I wanted to highlight there. And so then in the 71st minute, a little bit more attack from the Cowboys, and Scott Drinkwater receives the ball on the 5th tackle, and he thought maybe a chip over the top or a grubber kick, but he passes it to the left-hand side to Hylam Lukey. Hylam Lukey just says, get the hell out of my way, runs about 15, maybe 20 meters to score a try, just because of how tall he is, how long his arms are. He was able to get that ball down and score a really fun try. Like, the whole crowd just exploded. Even the Cowboys players, they really got behind Lukey's try, which is great to see as well. And then pretty much that was the end of the game. The Gold Coast Titans made more errors. The Cowboys made errors themselves. And the final score was 30 points to 4. And what I want to do is just highlight the players that made the most hit-ups. So all in all, by the end of the game, it was actually Kyle Felt that hit the ball up more times than any other Cowboy tonight, which it just leads more credence to what I was talking about before, as far as the Cowboys being a great back five team. They're really helping out the forwards and getting stuck into the, as Bloke in a Bar would say, getting into the shit work, man, you know? So I'm just going to quickly share my screen now, and we'll get into some more of the stats. But Kyle Felt led the way with the most hit ups, or the most times being tackled, sort of thing. And let alone that, he made more meters, more run meters than anybody tonight with 166. There you can see Jason Taumalolo made more tackles than anyone for the North Queensland Cowboys. Only one line break for Scott Drinkwater. I guess that's right. Kind of hard to believe considering how good he was tonight. So for the entire game, again, you've got Peter Hiku, who made 14. You've got Murray Tuolangi, who made 12. Ruben Cotter, 12 as well. Just the back five are doing a great job, and you just touch wood, and I am touching wood, that they don't get injured anytime soon. So run meters, Scott Drinkwater, 141 run meters. Kyle Felt, 166. Valentine Holmes, I thought defensively he was great on David Fafita. He was tasked with a sort of 11th hour mission to take down David Fafita, and I thought he passed with flying colours tonight. Valentine Holmes, he is getting better and better every single week. And the good thing is too, Cowboys are going up in sixes. You look at the Titans, you look at Cronulla Sharks, for instance, as well. They're only going up in fours, man. The Cowboys, based off of Valentine Holmes kicking so average so far this year, we're going up in sixes, man. So it's going to be vital as well. It come a closer game towards the end of the year. Tom Dearden ran for 109 meters. That's great to see. Jordan McLean, 127 meters, and that's equal with Jason Taumalolo. And what I see there is the big bookends, technically, Jordan McLean and Jason Taumalolo, they really shared the workload about. And then the rest of the forwards like Cohen Hess and Hylam Lukey, Tom Gilbert, and Griffin Neame, albeit Griffin Neame was on limited minutes, they're all sharing the workload, and we're just starting to get that monkey off the back, or they're starting to get the monkey off the back as far as being a team that can only rely upon Jason Taumalolo to get them out of trouble. We're really starting to get that moniker off of us, and it's so refreshing, and it's so good to see, man. So what I'm going to do now is find how many tackles were made. I'm just going to scroll across the screen here. So tackles made, you have Peter Hiku, who made 18, and he put a massive shot on Big Tino Fa'asuamala-Aui as well, just towards the end of the game there, that put him on his backside. You have Rhys Robson with 30 tackles. I thought Rhys Robson I want to say Rhys Robson may have had his best game of the year tonight. I thought his service out of dummy half was so fast and crisp. I thought he was really, really good for us tonight, man. 32 tackles, obviously, Taumalolo and Tom Gilbert getting stuck into the attack of the Gold Coast Titans with 30 tackles of his own. 3 missed tackles, though, and Ruben Cotter, 24 tackles and 1 hit up as well. And the last thing that I want to just sort of talk about here is, okay, so you got errors, 3 there for Scott Drinkwater. I'll try and find it again. Kicking meters. So if you look at Tom Dearden here, I hope you guys can see it. Tom Dearden there, he had no kicks tonight. I need to rewatch it, but going off of NRL.com, Tom Dearden didn't kick the ball once tonight. Scott Drinkwater was pretty much the 5'8", putting in 5 kicks for 58 meters. And Chad Townsend's kicking game tonight, 10 kicks for 336 meters. One of them resulted in a try. One of them was a third tackle kick that got the Gold Coast Titans big forwards turning around early, and because of that kick, we really got a foothold in the game in that first half. So, Chad Townsend, man, I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant to say it, but that could have been his best game tonight, Chad Townsend, for sure. It was just such a well-rounded team performance that a man of the match is a little bit hard to sort of select. So time of possession by the end of the game was 54% to 46% in favor of the Cowboys. The completion rate, we were actually a little bit worse than the Gold Coast Titans. So 27 to 39. We've been better. We got to be better in the next couple of weeks because we got some really big matches. So it was 70% each way. It wasn't a bad game of footy. I think it was an all right game of footy to watch for the neutral fan. As a Cowboys fan, I was going off deluxe. I was riding every bloody second, but I think for the neutral fan, it was all right. I think it was an all right game to watch in the end. Running meters, we made approximately 350 more, 400 more than the Gold Coast. Post-contact meters, nearly 100 more. 5 line breaks to 2. Kick return meters, yeah. Okay, offloads 7 to 5. And that's really good to see. 7 offloads is, again, I mentioned before that offloading is just not been in the Cowboys' vocabulary, and the Gold Coast Titans were about 6 years ago or 5 years ago, they were renowned for offloading a hell of a lot. But as I spoke about with BKR Sport on my channel recently, the offloads from the Gold Coast Titans have really dried up, and they're actually focusing more on decoy running. And it's just, it didn't work out for him tonight. Forced dropouts, kick defusals, bombs, grubbers, effective tackles. That's a bit of a difference. So effectively 91.5% to 87.5% Cowboys way. Missed tackles, 17. That's a good number. I'm happy with 17 missed tackles, considering that we've had some bad games where we've missed a lot of tackles. And then 29 missed tackles from the Gold Coast Titans. Right on, man. So errors 13, 14. Penalties conceded, that's where Gold Coast Titans really got, that they bit themselves in the ass sort of thing. Interchanges used, so we didn't use the full complement tonight. Awesome. So I'm just gonna make myself full screen again. So mate, Mr. Paddy G, hey man, mate, I think you were more right about the Cowboys than most of us. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, we're only 7 rounds in, bro, and as you said yourself, and as I've already said too, we know what happened last year when we traveled down to Manly at the halfway mark, and it all went downhill. So there's still a very long season to go, but we'll definitely take that win, and it puts us now, the Cowboys, into 4th on the ladder with a percentage or a for and against, of plus 51. What? That's so cool. Mr. William Hunt, man, hey dude, thank you for coming in and saying g'day and tuning in. So that pretty much wraps it up. It was a really cool performance. There was a bit to talk about. So my man of the match. So my bronze medalist. I would go Ruben Cotter. I'd say Ruben Cotter gets me bronze medal. I'd say Scott Drinkwater gets my silver medal. And I say Scott gets my silver medal because I think in the second half, whilst he did get that pass off to Lukey for a try, I think he just sort of, I don't know, just that they obviously felt like they had the game wrapped up, and they just took their foot off the accelerator a little bit, the Cowboys, I reckon. And so did Scott Drinkwater in that instance. But guys, I got to say, with 22 tackles for only a couple missed tackles, kicking the ball 10 times for 336 meters, organizing. It was so clear that Chad Townsend was organizing the boys around just beautifully tonight, getting that kick in for Jeremiah Nanai. For me, man, I think Chad Townsend, he's been sort of knocking on the door of being my man of the match. I know that's not real great, a real great feat, but I think Chad Townsend was the man of the match tonight, man. Our co-captain really stepped up, led the boys around the park. His kicking game on the third tackle was sensational, and I'm so glad he did it as well, because it is something that I mentioned in the lead up in the preview for this game too. So I've got to go Ruben Cotter bronze, Scott Drinkwater my silver, and Chad Townsend. I thought he was fantastic for us tonight, man. I thought he showed why he was brought up to the North Queensland Cowboys, and yeah, he's going so well. He's not perfect, but he's going so well, Chad Townsend. So that's it for me, guys. So if you're just tuning in, my audio buggered up at the start. It was a 30-4 victory to the North Queensland Cowboys up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium against the Gold Coast Titans. Can you smell it? Can you smell September footy? Probably not, but I'm getting really excited about our finals prospects in 2022. Anyways, guys, thank you all very much for tuning in. I'm going to have to go back and check out the audio. So anyways, thank you, guys. Go Cowboys. Congratulations to you guys. And by the way, just before I go, a quick note and a quick shout out. And let me just get me notes up here. I thought that so far, whilst I haven't seen Tigers in South Sydney yet, I thought so far Cowboys and Titans up there in Townsville had the best Anzac ceremony of the weekend so far in the NRL. You had Gold Coast Titans bring out a man named Daryl Madge, who was a Vietnam veteran, and he, I thought, was there last year too. So they really get behind this bloke and recognize his hard work and recognizes what he did for his country, our country, years ago. So that was a nice touch. And then a lady named Chantel Anderson, not only did she sing the Australian national anthem, but she also sang the New Zealand national anthem. And that's something that hasn't happened in all codes, I don't think. Not in the NRL anyway, but it hasn't happened in the NRL over the past couple of matches. And it happened tonight. And I was just totally impressed by that. So kudos to everybody up there in Townsville that put on that Anzac ceremony for sure. The last post was magnificent. The minute's silence was observed beautifully as well. Just a really good day in Cowboys history today, man, for sure. Yeah, Anzac Day Cowboys, eh? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, that sets up our win tonight. Whatever happens tomorrow for the Parramatta Eels, it sets up a huge match next week. The Parramatta Eels are hosting the North Queensland Cowboys in Darwin next week. That is litmus test personified. And to help me preview that game, ladies and gents, there's going to be a pre-recorded stream that will go up on my YouTube channel later on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be talking footy with Mr. Rugby League history, his team Parramatta Eels, my team Cowboys. We're going to preview this game. And this game, maybe 3 weeks ago, probably wouldn't have been classified as a potential game of the round selection. But based off Cowboys form tonight and based off Parramatta Eels form as well, it's going to be a huge game next week. Really looking forward to it. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get some tucker and watch some more footy between Tigers and the Rabbitohs. Cowboys, ride 'em, Cowboys. Thank you, guys. Adios.